revolution, the revolution continues. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all today to Within These Walls, the reprise edition. J.T. Turner was willing to update his script, which introduces us to 5 of the residents that lived in this one house over the 200 years that it stood here in Ipswich, Massachusetts, until it was scheduled for demolition. And you will learn the story today. The house ultimately found its way thanks to the grandmother of Bob Weatherall. I saw him here, thank you. And good Bob helped us stand this frame early last week, just after the nor'easter. Anyway, the house tells the story of 5 of the families that lived in the one house over the 200 years that it stood here in Ipswich. And we performed that play a couple of consecutive Ipswich Illuminations many, many moons ago. And ultimately, we were our players, our original cast, many of whom are here today, and that thrills me so. Were invited to the Smithsonian to perform in front of the actual house, which was such an honor and a privilege and a thrill. So we're reprising the show today to include some new characters who we were unaware of. The Smithsonian has continued to do research, and we'll meet some other Ipswich residents who had who lived in this house and who had business with the residents of the house. And so when JT was willing to update his script with input from a colleague, Mr. Damien Singletary, and we're thankful to both of them. And then James Turner, JT's son, also took on the huge responsibility of casting, costuming, directing, and we're so excited that they were willing to do this. And so just a little bit of information about what the rest of the day has in store for you. After this performance Within These Walls, we invite you all to tumble across the street to the Whipple House, where there are additional living history theatrical productions, all of whom are making their world premiere today. You'll meet Whipple and Wise and learn about how come it is that when Arthur Wesley Dow designed the town seal, it says boldly on it, the birthplace of American independence. That's quite a tall claim, and so we'll learn more about that. You'll meet Jenny Slew, and also our town planner, Alan Minoyan, will be telling the story of the Alexander Knight House replica. And then we have the amazing letters that transpired between Sarah and her husband, where's Gordon? Joseph Hodgkins. And they are incredible letters, and so they will be theatrically reread for us today. So plenty to do. We've also got the Hilltop Ham Hocks. We're going to play some folk Appalachian music. So it should be a wonderful day. We're so glad the sun is shining. And without further ado, Within These Walls.
Look, all right, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do. I have all the proper permits. This house is coming down in the morning.
But sir, this house has tremendous historical value. It's over 200 years old.
Are you kidding? This place is a mess. It's a warren of apartments that's practically falling apart.
We're really hoping to be able to raise some funds in order to save it. If we could just get a little bit more time.
Listen, lady, time is money. If we take this down, it opens up the whole area for some expanded parking.
Can't you just give us 2 weeks?
I'm sorry. This house comes down first thing in the morning. Pete! Pete, park that for tonight. Yeah, we'll start demo in the morning. Sorry, house. But you gotta go.
But I have a story to tell.
Pete?
A story. Every place has a story.
I am working way too much.
Stay, just for a minute. Let me tell some of the story.
Story? What?
The story that happened within these walls.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't realize we had any visitors.
It's okay. I heard a really weird voice. Are you dressed for a play?
Play, sir?
Yeah, your costume. Are you in a play?
Oh, these are my everyday clothes, sir. But I am indeed at play. I shall tell my father we are here. Father, father, we have a visitor.
This is way too Twilight Zone for me.
Oh, good evening, sir. I had no idea we had guests. Please, please, sit. Hannah, go and fetch your mother and something for our guests to drink.
Aye, father.
I'm sorry, good sir. I do not believe we have had the pleasure. I am Abraham Choate.
Choate? Like the bridge in the pub?
Bridge. Oh, you're thinking of Colonel John Choate. He built that bridge. Insisted on being the first to ride his horse across it. As for a pub, I'm not sure of your meaning. I'm Abraham Choate, farmer, miller, merchant.
Gentleman merchant, if you please.
Sarah, please. Let's not be too boastful.
It is no more than the truth, good husband.
Huh. Good sir, my wife and greatest treasure, Sarah Choate.
A pleasure to meet you both.
But Abraham, why are we in here? We have a wonderful parlor for entertaining guests.
Good wife, please. There is no need for formality this evening. The tea serves just as well here as it does in the parlor. You must forgive my wife. She is rather proud of the parlor.
And should I not be? Few homes have a room dedicated simply to the entertainment of visitors. Abraham, you work so very hard. You could enjoy the many blessings that we have.
Blessings? Oh, we have blessings. Expensive blessings. 8 of them, of all ages. When we bought this land years ago, there was a structure upon it, and I've had to expand it to fit our brood.
Rude? Abraham, how you talk.
So you're what? A merchant?
There you are. Yes, set that right here.
Yes, father. May I pour?
Oh, please do. But be careful of the good china.
And our guests laugh.
Father.
My wife would insist that I am a gentleman merchant. I am but a simple maritime merchant. Goods from all over the world pass through Ipswich. Although of late, Salem Harbor is proving to be more popular.
Salem? Nothing but riffraff down there. Why, here we get ships from the West Indies. They can roll into our wharf, and their ships can roll the barrels of molasses straight off the docks and into the distillery.
Storehouses, warehouses, they line our river. We have a salt works, a tannery, why, we even have a shipbuilding yard.
That river is like a road for commerce. Fishing is our most profitable industry.
I started out as a farmer and a miller. I have a grist mill and a gravel pit. Now I'm a merchant. A growing town needs its supplies to grow with it. And well, I supply them. But merchant life has made me comfortable. Rare goods, fabrics, china, it all seems to find its way into this house.
Ah, and well it should, Abraham. You have worked so very long and hard to establish yourself here. Most houses in town have a simple 3-room structure, and we have 10 rooms to fill. There is nothing wrong with making use of the many gifts that the Lord has provided for us. Why, look at these windows. The finest in town and imported just for us. No other house has windows quite so large.
sound. Pete, I am sure there are others with windows as fine as ours.
Abraham, we do our share in this town. Abraham has many employees, and all of the work done on the construction of our home, all done by local craftsmen. I love this house. We have put so very much of ourselves into it that truly it is a wonderful home. It brightens my life.
So there you have it. This home is the light of my wife's life. But she is the light of mine.
Oh, Abraham, how you go on. Now please, help me move these things into the parlor for our guests.
There's really no need.
But, sir, I have learned one thing when it comes to battling a woman's will. There is one course of action. Surrender.
There is more to tell.
Abraham? Abraham? Abraham?
Here I am. Here I am. Sir, I do not think I know you.
I was just talking with Abraham Choate.
Oh, well, there are a great many Choates in Ipswich, and they did indeed own this home. But I purchased it from them several years ago. They went off to Maine, I think. May I ask, sir, at the risk of being rude, are you a Tory?
Tory? No, my name's Bob.
I mean, are you for independence, sir?
Sure, I am an American.
Ah, well met, sir. Well met. Please, sit, sir. I hope you will forgive my caution. Since I am fighting in the war, and since that would make me as a traitor to the British, I must take care.
So you're a patriot then?
Yes, that is what I think of myself as. The British Crown would call me a rebel. What is it Dr. Franklin says? Rebellion is always legal in the first person, as in our rebellion. It is only in the third person, their rebellion, that it becomes illegal. But surely we are in a town filled with rebels. Did you know Ipswich was the first town to refuse to pay taxes? It was back in the late 1600s, when we felt we did not have proper representation. A local reverend, John Weiss, rallied the townspeople in protest. Some were even jailed over the event. Thinking of that brave act caused me to become a volunteer, even before the regular army was assembled.
And have you seen battles?
Oh yes, friend. I was at Breed's Hill, what many call Bunker's Hill, just 3 years ago.
You were in Bunker's Hill.
That would have been a better spot. Word came that the British were moving to take the high ground, including Bunker's Hill. By miscommunication, we ended up digging in at Breed's Hill. We built a redoubt, a wall, higher than you could easily see over. The British started shelling us at 4 in the morning. Cannonball after cannonball. They bombed us for 12 hours. They finally marched on us at 4 in the afternoon. The field they crossed had not been cut. We could just barely catch glimpses of them. But we fired again and again. Still, it kept on. I can't describe the scene adequately. The noise, the terror.
Sounds like a bad spot. Did you think about leaving?
We all did. Watching that red line march toward us, no matter how many we put down, they just kept coming. But there was an officer, Colonel Prescott. He stood on top of that redoubt and urged us on, directed our fire, shouted encouragement. Cannonballs nearly took him off several times. But somehow, he stayed up there. He was so brave, he made us want to stay. Eventually, we ran out of ammunition. We threw rocks as we retreated through the small clogged exit route. The British won that day, but it was a Pyrrhic victory.
A what?
Pyrrhic victory. That is when the cost is so high, that winning means little. The British paid a great price for the high ground that day. They didn't break us. I am now Captain Abraham Dodge, with a company of my own in Colonel Moses Little's regiment. I'm here for just a brief stay. My duty awaits. But it is good to be in my home again.
Aren't you afraid they'll find you?
Well, Ipswich is a very anti-Tory town. But of course I worry. The stakes are high. I could easily lose this wonderful house, all that I own, even my life for having acted against the crown. But with these unfair taxes and tariffs, they hit us particularly hard in a port like Ipswich. And with no representation of our own, and no say in our government, what choice do any of us have at a time like this but to fight? Fight against this oppression. Good Dr. Franklin says that those who would not sacrifice a little liberty for safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. I will tell you, I have sunk all of my money in the cause of a free America. It means that much to me. No man live as a slave. But where are my manners? Surely you must have a cup of my hard cider at the very least. Chance! Chance! Now, where is he?
I thought I heard Captain Dodge. He had a bit of a temper at times, but he was a good man.
So you work here?
Yes. I used to work here when I was younger. I worked in the house, but I mastered many skills. I also worked in Captain Dodge's fields, and some days I worked on the waterfront, making fish for a shipment to Europe and the West Indies. And I lived here.
When did you come to Ipswich?
Well, I was born in the house of Reverend Simon Bradstreet in Marblehead in 1762. And I lived and worked there with the Bradstreet family and my dear mother Phyllis until I was 14.
You left home at 14?
Well, when my owner died, the old Reverend Bradstreet, his daughter Sarah inherited me and my mother. And her new husband, Mr. Story, he sold me to the Dodgers. I hear tell, I fetched one of the highest prices in Ipswich at the time, more than 25 pounds.
Sold you to? So you were Abraham's slave?
Yes, I was his slave. Mr. Story sold me to Captain Dodge for a period of 12 years and 4 months.
There were slaves in Massachusetts?
Massachusetts was the first of the new colonies to legalize slavery.
But I thought that Boston and the surrounding areas were the cradle of liberty. Abraham was just talking about how he was fighting for freedom at Breed's Hill.
Yes. I would hear Captain Dodge and others talking about freeing themselves from the yoke of England, but none of them talk much about freeing people like me. But in those days, a Negro could join the militia and fight not only for his country's freedom, but for his own freedom from slavery. Fight for 3 years and earn your freedom. John Freeman, one of Captain Dodge's Negro soldiers from right here in Ipswich, did just that. He joined the Massachusetts Revolutionary Militia in 1777 and was stationed down in Rhode Island to help protect it from being burned. He served down there for 6 months and was discharged. When he came back to Ipswich, he joined the militia again, this time under the command of Captain Dodge. He was stationed at Prospect Hill in Cambridge, and he served there for 3 months, and then he was discharged. I hear that he and his wife and his family moved all up to Maine. All the Negroes in town were praying for him and his family, for the end of slavery and tyranny, and for freedom and justice for all.
Slavery did end.
Yes, thank God it did. It ended sooner for some than others. Patriots were fighting for freedom in Lexington and Concord, while abolitionists were working hard to end slavery all across the Commonwealth. In 1783, Massachusetts Chief Justice William Cushing ruled that the idea of slavery is inconsistent with our own conduct and our Constitution. There can be no such thing as perpetual servitude for a rational creature unless his liberty is forfeited by some criminal conduct or a personal contract. That's what kept me in bondage until 1789, 3 years after the death of Captain Dodge, in service to his wife, Thea.
No idea slavery reached all the way up.
Well, when those 12 years and 4 months were over, I left this house and went right back to Marblehead to find a house for me and my mother. Found us a lovely little house on Darling Street. And I still work on the waterfront. And she takes in laundry and does sewing for some of the houses in town.
And you said you lived here.
Yes, I stayed up in a room up in the attic.
And were you comfortable there?
It was comfortable enough. I don't mind telling you, it got mighty cold up there in the wintertime. No place to make a fire. But Captain Dodge was kind enough to let me have as many of the old horse blankets as I wanted.
That was very kind of him.
Yes. Like I said, I left this house as soon as I could. I have many memories in this house. Most of them are pleasant. Though I would like to see the attic one last time.
I had no idea slavery reached all the way up here.
Well, I feel as though we're all slaves until all men are free. Do I know you, sir? Are you a friend of my husband's?
I was just here talking about the revolution.
It is a revolution. Just as our mothers and fathers fought to free the slaves, we fight to free the slaves. Excuse me, sir. I'm impassioned about abolition. I am Mrs. Josiah Caldwell. Miss Lucy Caldwell, if you please. Do forgive the condition of the house. I've got such a list to do. We're plastering, we're wallpapering, we're putting stoves in all of the fireplaces. It's called Greek Revival. Are you here for a lesson?
A lesson?
Well, yes. My husband, Josiah, the music teacher, well, voice mostly. The piano's right in the parlor.
Oh, no. I don't do any of that. I'm just a worker.
Oh, then you've come about the stoves upstairs then. This house is over 50 years old, and it does need some care. So come with me. Should I tell you, though, we are having a meeting here today. Are you in support of the abolition of slavery?
Sure I am.
Well, splendid, because my Josiah is the leader of the Ipswich Anti-Slavery Society, and I host the weekly meetings here quite often for the Ipswich Female Anti-Slavery Society. So, if that's the case, you must understand we're impassioned about this, and we work very hard to switch the mindset of so many that slavery is just a way of life. You know that Ipswich has a thriving cottage community of lace and cloth making, and us women, we do a lovely job sewing anti-slavery slogans on so many things. Here are the words we will put on a cradle quilt. Mother, when around your child, you clasp your arms in love, and when with grateful joy you raise your eyes to God above, think of the Negro mother when her child is torn away, sold for a little slave. Oh, then for that poor mother pray.
One day, slavery will be gone.
Well, I believe that too. But until it is, we have to raise awareness, stop everyone from buying sugar from the cane fields where slaves work. We have to raise the funds that are needed. And there's nothing to say that we can stop the encouragement to make sure that everyone knows that the good book says slavery is not the way. But I really can't tarry on. I must go get my niece Margaret from the female seminary.
Seminary?
Well, yes. We strive to be quite progressive here in Ipswich. The Ipswich Female Seminary. My niece Margaret is there studying to be a teacher, you see. Sorry, I'll be just a minute.
Wow. Founders of the town, fighters in the Revolutionary War, chants, abolitionists. Wow, this really is an amazing house.
It is not just people of great note that echo in these walls. Simple people lived here as well, but they too have stories to tell.
Oh, good day to you, sir. Please excuse me when I catch my breath. There are days where I feel more like a beast of burden than a woman. That's the gospel truth.
That's quite a bit of laundry you got there.
Aye, it is the laundry from himself and the family.
Himself?
Aye, Mr. Hearn to be sure. He owns this house.
He lives here.
The great Mr. Hearn living here. No, the family bought it years ago from the Choates family as an investment. They rent it out now. I rent this half along with my daughter. $50 a year it costs. I take in laundry for my money, and I barter with the Hearns for part of my rent. It's an easy life, but I had a dream, you see. A dream of coming to this here great land, America. Only 'tisn't so very great for us yet. Irish are considered rather low on the society register.
What brought you to Ipswich?
You go where there is work. Here in Ipswich, there's the river. And the river drew the first mills. Now they're all around. Ipswich is known for the quality of its lacework and yarn, as well as cotton cloth. The first stocking machine was smuggled out of England right here to Ipswich. Smuggled by the Irish, I have no doubt. The mills have workers. The workers need clean clothes. So here I am. My daughter works at the Ipswich hosiery mill. 800 employees they have. They make the hosiery, and the boxes it's sold in, and the crates they ship in. Terrible long hours that girl puts in. What's a body to do? Ipswich River. Mills all along it making goods of all sorts. Salt marshes for the hay that people use. And ice. Blocks of Ipswich ice being shipped out all over creation. It is a thriving town, or Ipswich.
That from the river. And you said you rent here, so it's not much of a home then, huh?
I don't really know you, sir. But you're an idiot. Not much of a home! Well, perhaps not much to look at. And crowded, to be sure. But this is my home. No grand palace, that is true. But a home nonetheless. Home ain't walls, nor rooms, nor furniture, nor things. It is the people living in it. See that window? Still smudges on the bottom pane where my girl would look out at the snow falling. The rug piece by the back door has seen 7 different sizes of shoes parked on it as Mary grew up. That cross over on that wall, that was Mr. Lynch. It belonged to my mother's. And I don't leave the house without kissing my hand and touching it. This table, gallons and gallons of tea were served here along with soda bread and stories. My stove always has a stew steeping on the back burner, ready to welcome any that come into this one. And the cross, the picture, there on that wall, that was Mr. Lynch. God rest his soul. This is where I'm raising my daughter. By the grace of God, her house will be better than this. But her home, sir, will be like this. Full of love, affection, and life. Now, you sit there. Let me get you a bowl of that stew. 'Tis a brisk day out there.
No. I really don't need any stew. But I do love stew.
Oh, I like stew too. Oh, excuse me, sir. Here I am out gathering vegetables from my victory garden. When I have company at the table, I am so sorry.
Oh, no worries at all.
No, sit there, please. I will put these things by, some for now and some for later. I love having all these vegetables. It makes the ration coupons go so much farther. Why, I have a house full of grandchildren that would eat me out of house and home. Richard's one of my grandsons. He should be home pretty soon. I suppose you must be a friend of Roy or Arthur.
Roy or Arthur?
Yeah, my sons. Roy isn't the name in the South Pacific, and Arthur is in Europe. And his family lived here with me. They all do. It's a little crowded. There's so many people in the house, but we do like everybody being here. All the boys are all fighting. It's a little cramped, but we make do. You know, there used to be 2 apartments side by side, but now it's up and down. I have an entire canning set up in the kitchen. One day, we might even get indoor plumbing.
Grandma, home.
There he is, Richard, my grandson. He helps me with the canning, and we collect paper for the war effort.
I got to see the table around the top. And my mom and dad were down at the mill.
The mill by the river.
The mill. Of course, it's converted now. Now they make proximity fuses for anti-aircraft projectiles. I'm not even sure what that means. But they both work. They Richard and Annie both. A lot of people from town work down at the mill.
Grandma, can I go see that woman 30 seconds to the Tokyo down at the Strand?
No war movies for you, young man. I have enough trouble with you running around with your black outfit, covering every window that we have in the house. No, you would think we were in the middle of the war in Arizona. Meet me in St. Louis opens tomorrow night. You can go see that. I would pay to see that. All right.
Grandma, I almost forgot. There's a letter here from Uncle Roy.
Would you let me read it now, sir, please? I get so few.
Go right ahead, please.
Dearest mother, I hope you are well and that all is the same for everyone at Elm Street. They work us hard here and every day aboard ship is an adventure. They feed us pretty well, although I miss your cooking. I can't wait to come to Ipswich when this war is done. Please, say we may see some action soon. Don't worry, please, if you don't, you have to be for a bit. I really can't say much about it as I'm not supposed to. It's funny, but growing up in town, all I ever thought about was leaving. And when the war broke out, I was excited to join up and see the world. But I have to tell you, Mom, the more I see of it, the more I miss Ipswich. I'm surrounded by water, but I find myself wishing I was back on the roof fishing with Art down by the dam. The life here is harsh and heavy amidst green things of the seasons, and the way the elm out back changes with the year. I keep thinking of you all sitting around the kitchen table, telling stories and drinking coffee. That might not sound so exciting, but I can't wait to be sitting there with you all again. Write me if you can. Tell me if you've had a letter from Arthur. My love to Annie, Richard, Richie, and little Arthur. Love, Roy. Grandma. Oh, I know he will. I just try to do all that I can here so that they can come here. All the boys. We just want them all to be safe. Richie, come with me. Help me get these things into the pantry. I'll show you where everything goes.
So many stories.
You again, huh? I never knew how much this house meant to so many people.
Yes. It is not so much that this house is important in and of itself. It is what happened here. The lives I have seen. The love, joy, anger, and pain that has been here. The building isn't the point. The point what is passed within this building. Within these walls.
I get it. I get it. Pete! No demo today. Yeah, this house, we gotta do something else about this house.